And welcome in. We are live here on site at the Task Force on location. Always love coming up to the Michigan Open, the 104th version. And I'm joined by the nobleman, the media coordinator for the Michigan PGA, longtime sports writer, the maestro, as I call him, Greg Johnson. You were mobile a minute ago. I kind of wanted you to just continue to drive. But Greg, it's great to have you on, and it's great to see you every year. The great job you and your staff do, and the whole tournament staff. Before we get into anything, there's not many things like a Michigan Open, especially at the Bear, are there?
No, it's a unique event, and the tournament itself. It's really the kind of the Open State Championship. So you get, and then you have a course that really fits it, and a resort that really fits it, makes it feel like a special event, which it is, and so it goes hand in hand. And the Bear, it just has that image and that reputation as a tough golf course. And then you have the players should be tested. And so somebody that wins it has survived something as well as won something. And that's a good thing. That's a good combo.
Speaking of tested, I'm going to throw up the leaderboard right now. We'll get into our man, Bradley Smithson, the Spartan, whose dad made the cut 22 straight times at the Michigan Open. He's following around in a second. But you look at this leaderboard, and yeah, you've got at this point, let's see, you got about 8 guys under par, and the cut could be +7, +8. I mean, this course is playing tough, my friend.
Yeah, it's getting help from Mr. Wind today, too. And the wind usually kicks up here in the afternoon a little bit anyway, but it's been really steady. I'd say since after the first couple hours this morning, it's been pretty steady, 12 to 13, 14 miles an hour. And it hasn't let up, and it's on some of the tougher holes. It's right into their face. So that makes this course very difficult and really hard to judge your club selection into the greens. And it's a second shot golf course. So if you don't hit it to the right part of the green, sometimes you wish you missed the green. So it's very difficult with the wind.
That is for sure. Now, Greg, you've been coordinating this for the Michigan PGA and many other things. I want to get into your sports writing career in a minute too. But, what have you – in talking to the different players and family, and all these guys know you, which I know has got to be a very nice thing, and that's one of the reasons you do such a great job is the personal connections you make with people. What in talking to players and talking to family members that are like Bradley Smithson's dad that are following these kids around it's such an important tournament. What do they say about this experience for them, and what do they say about this tournament being here at the Bear, this premier Jack Nicklaus course, one of the hardest courses in the Midwest, one of the harder courses in the country?
Well, they all think it's special when it's up here. I mean, like even Bradley today was talking about, he remembers coming up here, as like a 10-year-old kid and riding around on the cart while his dad was playing and not really paying attention, just thinking being disappointed if his dad didn't win, and just being a kid and playing in the pool and all the other things that there is to do in Traverse City. So, and now to have it kind of come full circle and have his parents watching him play, he's getting a kick out of it. I think he's having a blast. I think the tournament's really special to him. It's our state championship, so it's going to be special to all the players from Michigan anyway. But I think that adds a little more to it. And I think that everybody that grew up coming up here thinks the Bear is like the home of the Michigan Open.
Yeah, I think that's definitely true. And let's talk about Smithson. 20 years old. He's 11 under. He birdied the 18th as the wind just kind of started to pick up. This afternoon wave is going to have their issues with this wind. But just a calm, cool, collective guy. His dad was mentioning to us before we talked with Bradley after the round that he left him notes. And then his son listens to him. He said, if you're in the bunker on this hole, you're in trouble. Or get out of it. Like, it's got to be, such a calming influence to have a dad that has played this course so many times, has played this tournament so many times, and had made that cut, as we mentioned, 22 straight times, to be able to help his son. But this kid who played at Michigan State as a sophomore, but it was his first year eligibility, so freshman eligibility, and really just is playing a lot of different tournaments and seems like he's pretty darn confident for a 20-year-old.
He is, and I think he's kind of always been that way. I remember even when he was younger, he was just kind of a quiet, confident kid. And his dad's really plays golf that way too. So plays a lot like his dad. He hits it a long way, and he can be an intimidating guy to have in your foursome because you're going to be hitting it first because you're going to get to your ball sooner than he will. But Bradley hits it a long ways. He's a lefty, so that's different. His dad's a righty, but but they look, a young Bradley looks a lot like a young Gary did. So, you can tell they're family. And I don't think he's an overbearing dad. He seems like the perfect golf dad. He made sure the kid enjoyed the game first. And now he likes the fact that his kid enjoys competition just like he does.
Yep, and in talking to him, he said that it's a calming influence. But Bradley mentioned that he loves that his dad and his mom obviously here as well. And you see him right there leading right now. As we're about 30% through the second wave in the afternoon in their rounds. We'll see if anyone can try to get low. Right now, you got Smithson at 11 under, Patrick Wills-Creer at 6 under, and Grant Hafner, another amateur. 2 amateurs in the top 3 right now, Greg, at -4. So we'll see if anything can change. But it looks like Bradley Smith is probably going to be sleeping on a lead tonight. I wanted to talk to you because you've been in this business for such a long time. You do a great job with what you do for the Michigan PGA. But you're a long-time sports writer out of Grand Rapids, right, Greg? And I know you covered a lot of amazing things in your career. What were some of the ones that were the most special to you?
I covered a little bit of everything. I started out as a prep writer. I covered the Bad Boys back in the day.
Oh, so jealous of that.
So that was fun. And I covered the NFL. I covered the Lions for 16 years, and some people thought that was a punishment. But I got to watch a whole bunch of Barry Sanders, and some years it felt like you were writing the same columns all the time. I covered Notre Dame football for a while as a beat, and when they won a national championship with Lou Holtz. I covered 16 Masters, 23 U.S. Opens, those kind of numbers. I went to a lot of majors, covered the Olympics in Atlanta and in Calgary, and I've done a few things, I guess, but maybe it's just because I've been around a long time.
I was going to say, for such a young guy, you've done a lot of stuff, my man. What a career you've had, and I know that it means a lot for you to be involved with the Michigan PGA. I think that it's important. I wanted to ask you this because, I love golf. You love golf. I mean, there's I'm up there with Jeff Lesson, who's hosting, the longest continuous running golf show in North America. So there's a lot of, such a connection to this great game. But the Michigan PGA, we live in a state where we have some of the best courses in the country. We have some of the better golfers in the country. We have some of the better tournaments in the country. And yeah, it's not as big of a state as California. It's not as, maybe big of a state as Florida is for golf because there's so many different things that go on with the PGA and different tournaments there. But it's a great state for golf. And what do you think about the health of the game of golf in Michigan and the health of the Michigan PGA itself?
Well, I think the pandemic gave everybody it kind of gave them a booster shot. We're all getting the vaccine, but golf got a vaccine last fall, when the numbers went off the charts with people trying the game again, families came back, things like that. So golf kind of needed that. Competitive golf's always, it's become a big animal, the Nicklaus and Palmer and Tiger Woods and all the great players that have made the, watching golf a whole different thing. But, there's a lot of great tournaments. When I got done when the newspapers didn't want to pay me anymore, I was really thankful that I had contacts in golf and great friends like Tim High and Kevin Helm and that gave me a chance to do this and the Golf Association of Michigan and, run down the line. So I've been able to, I'm still out taking pictures and writing stories, and it doesn't feel like a work day any day. They may be some long days at golf, but I'm at a golf course. How bad can it be?
Yeah, it doesn't get much better. Speaking of photography, I was telling you about it yesterday. I mean, I know a little about it, but you've become like a sports Ansel Adams. You take these pictures off the tee, and you're getting there, man. I'm giving you it's real high praise for a reason. But I wanted to ask you about this because, as we know, as you mentioned, it is special to have this tournament here. I know, we don't know for sure what's going to happen going forward, but it sure makes sense to me that this tournament should be in the Bear going forward. Do you feel good about the chances of that happening?
Sure. I mean, right now there's a great title sponsor. Whenever you have a title sponsor, all tournaments live and die with the title sponsor, especially professional tournaments, because you have to have a purse, and a purse is always tied to your sponsorship. So, yeah, to have Turtle Creek Casino and Hotel involved is huge. And as long as they're here next to the Bear and they're owned by the same, tribe, it's a good thing. So I think it bodes well for a future. I hope they feel as good about the tournament being here as the tournament feels good about being here.
Yeah.
So we'll see. In the end, it's kind of it's a decision. The tournament's going to go on and go play someplace, but they just as soon be here, and it's a good thing if Turtle Creek wants them here.
Yep, sure makes sense for it to be here. And I was talking to Tom McGee, the director of golf here at Grand Traverse. Always so good to us, and the energy and the restaurant outside, everyone's eating and having fun and watching the golf. It really just is a natural fit to have it here. Well, Greg, you always do a great job helping all of us out, and we appreciate it. I know everyone else here does. As I mentioned, all these golfers, you've seen them growing up. They all know you. The families know you. So that's a special thing. What can we expect in store for the next couple of days? It looks like the weather very similar today, tomorrow, 70s, maybe not as windy tomorrow, than 80s on Thursday. It looks like we're going to no rain this year for once.
Yeah, if it doesn't rain and the course will actually get harder to play just because it will get dry and fast again. It was dry and fast when we got here, and then we had rain the first night, but in the middle of the night, so that softened it a little bit. But hard and fast, if the wind blows, it's really, really hard. But if the wind doesn't blow, somebody's going to get to 15 or 16 under, and Bradley Smith is a long way towards that already. So we'll see. But if Bradley Smithson can hold on, we'll see. I mean, we had a wire-to-wire winner last year, and they're rare. It would be amazing to have a wire-to-wire winner 2 years in a row. But the kid certainly has the talent. Let's put it that way. He's got a whole bunch of talent, and he's got a dad who has a great head on his shoulders, and I think he's given the kid some really sound advice to work off of.
He definitely has. I would definitely make mom and dad are following young Bradley around. Very proud. Greg, thanks so much for your time. Thanks so much for all you do for all of us in the media and what you do here for the Michigan Open, and nothing but the best going forward, my man. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Dan. Glad you're up here, and glad you're helping golf in Michigan. That's a wonderful thing.
And by the way, did you hear about my 110-foot birdie putt last night in the Wolverine? I heard it was making the rounds nationally, not just locally.
Well, I did hear there was quite a fuss in the lobby, but I didn't know that was what it was about. So tell me again what happened.
Off the green, big hole for me and Lesson, Wolverine number 4, 110 feet away. Gave it a little go. It was a little downhill, and it just kept going and going and went right in the middle of the hole. And most people didn't believe it. I put it up on Twitter. They wanted Jeff Lesson to verify. They thought I was making it up. But there was a lot of people asking for autographs today in the pro shop. So, I mean, someone told somebody something.
Anything that beats Jeff Lesson, I'm pleased with. So that's a good thing.
You are the third person today to tell me that, Greg. You're the best, my man. Thanks so much, as always. Look forward to great times ahead.
Take care, Dan, the man. Be good.
All right, you got it, my man. Great stuff for Greg Johnson. Appreciate his help. We'll continue to keep you covered up here from the Michigan Open, the 104th Michigan Open, as we mentioned. You got my man Bradley Smithson, the Michigan State Spartan, leading after the halfway of the second round is done. 11 under right now. We got a bunch of groups still on the course, and you got Patrick Woods-Creer at 6 under and Grant Hafner at 4, and then a group of guys at 3. Thanks again to Greg Johnson. We got much more coming from up here at beautiful Grand Traverse. Until next time, believe in the dream.